My name is Jill Monroe from RSVP with Jill Monroe on KBLA Talk 1580. I think Tyler's story is one that a lot of people don't know the background. What was your approach in putting it together since there is so much ground to cover and so many different directions really that you could have taken this story in?
Well, verite was very important from the get-go. I think oftentimes you see documentaries that are made about people who have a very prominent name, and oftentimes the film comes together with a lot of archive, but we wanted to make sure the verite, that shotgun style, following him with one camera, with no crew, so the viewers sort of had the feeling of being right there next to him and intimate. So the verite was very important, and I think also giving it time and patience. That's why
Yeah.
it sort of feels a little bit more intimate because we did spend a lot of time with him.
Yeah.
A lot of time meaning almost a decade.
10 years of patience. 10 years of patience. But like Galila said, with that time, you get the vulnerability, you get the trust of your subject. And then that way we were able to tell that transparency throughout the highs and lows of his life and not just his success.
And listening to you share some of the moments that as directors stuck out to you, what did you learn about Tyler through this process? I'm sure you went in with a certain perspective and viewpoint, and over the course of 10 years, that's a lot of time. So what did you learn and what maybe changed about your thoughts as you worked through this process?
You want to take it
You
first?
want to go first? I want to hear what you learned.
Well, I was with him obviously every single day for like 10 years filming not only the old studio but the new studio as well. And like what I learned most is like the burden of sacrifice that he kind of always has carried for people like us. And that's very much seen in the people that work, at the studio every single day. People that he gives opportunities to that maybe they wouldn't get an opportunity if he didn't work that hard, if he didn't sacrifice, if he didn't take, being that first person over the hill trying to make a place for us. And I think that the more I chilled with him, and obviously like we became such, he's my father figure now. Like he is someone that I constantly try to make proud, but it's more so because of what he does for other people. And that's what's the most inspiring thing for me. Is like, wow, like there's such a deeper reasoning as to why he does the things that he does, as opposed to like, I just want to be successful. Like that's absolutely not even the beginning layer of why he does what he does. So that's what I've learned.
Yeah. And also, we there's a quote that he's used a few times, which is, your dreams are tied to other people's dreams. And to actually see that in practice,
Yeah.
that meant every decision he made affects everyone around him. And to have that kind of care, to carry that kind of care, and also that love and care is infectious. You see that become part of everyone that works at the studio. We've interviewed a few people that worked with him for 15 plus years, and we've asked them, what made you stay? Why are you still here? And oftentimes, of course, there is growth within the company, but there is also, where else would I work for who's like a black man in this position who cares about me and my family?
Yeah.
So this studio is not just only his, it's also mine. I care about this studio. It's whether it's from the maintenance crew or security to his first AD to the producers. There's some sort of autonomy that they feel. And I don't know, I haven't seen that anywhere else. And I think it's a very special feeling. And to see that, to learn that throughout this 10 years. We've had front row seat at this man's sort of movement every day. To actually those philosophy that he lives by in action is what was really mind-blowing for me, and learned a great deal.
Yeah.
From the get-go, we weren't talking to Tyler as Tyler the mogul. We're talking to Tyler the man. So with the sensitivity of anyone that has gone through trauma, you sort of have to have a temperature gauge. So there are days where he will reveal a little bit more. And there are days where nothing would happen. We would film for 10 hours, 11 hours. And it's sort of the practice of, I guess, for me in my experience of documentary filmmaking, the patience is a huge part of that process. And the patient, and also someone feeling, opening up and being vulnerable also depends on the landing pad. So the landing pad has to feel safe. We have to create a safe space. Yeah. And I think with anyone, when you're having a conversation, people tend to sort of open up the more time you spend time with them, and also making sure that we're not just badgering him with questions. It's more of conversations, and he just sort of opened up. It's like an onion. So you peel little by little.